Imagine you have just booked a once-in-a-lifetime shore excursion to find out you were scammed. This is what happened to almost 800 people on the Carnival Legend in 2023 when their Greenland port on their Greenland Journey cruise was canceled. Now, even if Greenland is not in your upcoming itinerary, you're going to want to hear this story because this can happen in any ports of call. So let's dive in. Hey y'all, what is up? I am Tiffany with TP's Travels, and yes, I've got another scam video for you, but this story was actually just brought to me recently, and after I read through this article, I wanted to go ahead and do a video on it to make you aware of what happened here. I was actually on the Carnival Legend Journey Cruise to Greenland in August of 2023. But unfortunately for passengers sailing just a few weeks after me in September, they lost their Greenland ports of call on their Greenland Journey cruise due to a hurricane. Now, this cruise was actually booked up and sold out within 24 hours, 2 years prior to Carnival Legend sailing to Greenland. And this was supposed to be like an epic event. This is the first time they had cruised to Greenland in almost a decade. Now, unfortunately, Carnival Legend did cancel these particular ports to Greenland due to the hurricane. These are tender ports, so they were not going to be able to safely get people to the island if they ended up going into Greenland. So they only had Canada ports. Now, everybody was notified after they already sailed into Greenland. It is a 6 days of sea days leaving from Baltimore into Greenland, and everyone received a letter in their stateroom stating that the Greenland ports were canceled. All passengers on board did receive a $400 onboard credit, and anybody who booked a short excursion with Carnival Cruise Line received immediate refunds. So this kind of raised some concerns when approximately 800 passengers on board did not receive refunds. Now, these passengers did book through a third party and not with Carnival Cruise Line. But why would anybody want to book through a third party vendor? So hold that thought. I will get back to that in just a minute. The person that they booked the short excursion through, the third party vendor, was actually on the Carnival Legend with them. They were going to Greenland with them. And this person actually on her Facebook page told everyone that they would receive a full refund after they got notification that the Greenland ports were canceled. Well, when they got to Canada, unfortunately, this person with Sandra Cruise Tours was seen jumping ship and leaving the cruise ship and going to Canada. And that was the last anyone ever saw of her. Now, this article that I read through was really pretty interesting. I'm going to leave it in the description below if you want to take a look at all the details of everything. But according to this article, Sandra Cruise Tours, after she got off the cruise ship and as soon as she got into Canada, she updated her policy online to stating no refunds for the Greenland shore excursion. All of these passengers have tried very hard to get their money back and have fought this, and it was approximately like $400 for their shore excursion per person that they have not been able to get back from Sandra Cruise Tours. Now, this person with Sandra Cruise Tours, she may have been on the up and up and may have actually been able to provide them with the short excursion that they booked in Greenland. But not quite sure how well that short excursion would have gone. I did do some looking into some of her reviews, and she didn't seem to have some very good reviews of others who have booked short excursions through her in other areas, such as European cruises. Many of them stated that they received their short excursion, but they didn't get what was promised, or their tour guide wasn't reliable. So it was a really poor experience from what they were promised that they would have received. So no telling what kind of short excursion that these people in Greenland would have received, but it doesn't look to be that she has very good reviews of promising really good short excursions anyway. Now, this leads me to one tip. First off, always read reviews of anybody that you are going to do short excursions with. Even if you're doing one from the cruise line, you're going to see some different reviews there, because I have booked some not so great short excursions myself from the cruise line, and it's not the cruise line's fault. It's the people who are doing the shore excursion. So definitely always read reviews of the shore excursion and who you're booking it with. Now, I went on to read the report, and the investigator in this particular report that is linked in the description below, she even stated that there were some bizarre conversations when she tried to contact Sandra O'Leary with Sandra Cruise Tours. And Sandra Cruise Tours basically stated to her that nobody would receive refund. The investigator went a little further to see what was the refund policy of everyone in Greenland who offer shore excursions. And everyone stated to her that they do offer a refund policy within 24 to 48 hours, which was plenty of time. But according to Sandra Cruise Tours, she was out $10,000. So somebody's got that money there somewhere. So according to people in Greenland, everybody refunded any money that was needed to be refunded, and only minus like $10 or $7.50 US dollars. So it does appear here that she jumped ship and she scammed all these people out of their money. Now, she is a third-party vendor, and just like all third-party vendors are, what they will do, if you're not familiar, they do book shore excursions for other vendors, and they will put you in contact with these other vendors. So that's what she was doing here. Clearly, she was not a reputable third-party vendor. And the investigator went on to state that she highly recommends booking any shore excursions through a reputable third-party vendor. And I completely agree with this report that if you are booking a third-party shore excursion, always book it with a reputable vendor. Now, first, before I get into that, why would someone book a shore excursion with a third-party vendor? Well, two reasons. One is a lot of times they are cheaper. They are going to be usually a lot cheaper than your cruise line. And two, you're usually going to find a lot more options with a third-party vendor than what you can with your cruise line. For instance, if you're going to a small destination, such as Bimini, I've seen very little on my cruise line compared to if I looked at Viator or any other third-party vendor. They offer a lot more options. So if you're going somewhere that is small and remote, you might not see as many options on your cruise line as you would through a third-party vendor. Now, continuing to read through this, you will even notice that the investigator not only suggests going through a reputable third-party vendor, but she even suggests some of the same people that I suggest, which is Viator, Expedia, Cruise Critic, any of those. They are reputable companies. And these companies are not going to change their refund policy on you after you have purchased your tickets with your shore excursion. So there's no worries there. They have really good reviews. I have booked with Viator before, and they have really good reviews. No, this is not a sponsored video. I'm just giving you some helpful tips here if you choose to book through a third-party vendor. But please be careful of scams. There are a lot of people out there who do scam when it comes to third-party vendors. So always make sure that you are going through a reputable company such as Expedia or Viator or Cruise Critic. I do have these linked in the description below if you want to take a look at any of these. But there are three things that you always want to check for when you are looking for a third-party vendor. Reviews, do they have a license? And refund policy. You always want to look for those, and these reputable companies will have all of that information up front for you, and you don't have to worry about them changing it at last minute. So definitely keep all of this in mind. We don't want to be scammed out of anything, and certainly not a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that we are waiting for. And if you have any suggestions when booking shore excursions, or if you've been scammed before, please leave your experience in the comments below so that we all are able to help each other out, because no one wants to get scammed. So please help each other out. Let us all be aware of this to help others avoid making these mistakes in the future. Thank you so much for watching. Check out my next video here. Bye for now.